Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to be diving into my top 5 best anti-meta teams for the Great League. Now guys, at the time of recording this video, the Great League drops this afternoon at the normal time that leagues typically recycle. So exciting to have the Great League back. And guys, in case you are unaware, Niantic has increased the number of sets you can do from 5 to 20, and that will be on February 26th, and that will go until the end of the season on March 1st. So guys, if those of you out there who love PvP in Pokemon Go as much as I do, that is quite exciting, especially for those of you who have not yet reached your goals in Pokemon Go Battle League Season 10. This is a fantastic opportunity to make that final push to achieve whatever your goals may be in Pokemon Go Battle League Season 10. So guys, with the Great League dropping, everybody runs meta teams, hardcore meta teams. So I wanted to put out a list of strong anti-meta teams to really counter the meta and rack up the wins for you guys. Now, we're going to look at these on PvPoke as we always do. And keep in mind, guys, these are anti-meta teams. So we're going to be taking the scorecards with a bit of a grain of salt as they are anti-meta teams. And oddly enough, guys, this is not a spice list, okay? Let's not confuse spice with anti-meta, guys. So a lot of the Pokemon on these teams are prototypical hardcore meta Pokemon. It's just the configuration of the Pokemon on the teams that make them anti-meta teams. So keep that in mind as well, guys. So with all that said, let's hop into team number 1. All right, guys, here we go. Team number 1. And it is a very strong anti-meta team for the Great League. And it runs Cofagrigus on the lead, XL Lickitung as your safe swap, and Scrafty in the back to close the game strong, guys. Very solid anti-meta team, as the ghost types and dark types tend to do very well on if you're configuring an anti-meta team, as they deal neutral damage across the board to just about everything. So with that said, let's have a look at this scorecard here. And keep in mind, we are taking these scorecards with a grain of salt, and this one happens to be quite good, guys. This is a decent scorecard for a anti-meta team. We get a solid B for coverage, a B for bulk, we get a C for safety, and an A for consistency. Very solid scorecard for a very strong anti-meta team in the Great League. So let's have a look at these matchups here. All right, Cofagrigus on the lead's going to be beating Registeel, guys. Registeel is going to be a monster in both the Great League and in the Ultra League with the new update that it got. Guys, Registeel now has Zap Cannon, which makes it absolutely and completely broken and overpowered. But guys, Cofagrigus does not care about your move updates, as it does have a solid, narrow victory over Registeel. So guys, you will see increased usage of Registeel, so keep that in mind, guys, when you gear up for battle in the Great League as it comes back this afternoon. Cofagrigus on the lead is going to beat the Registeels. Trevenant is very close, guys. It is very close. You can actually beat Trevenant if you sneak through Shadow Claws and whatnot, and depending on health. But this is going to be on the lead. I like running Dark Pulse just because it does cost less energy than the recommended Psychic, and it gives you that much more of an edge, guys, when you need to get to a move faster. It's good knowing that you can get to that Dark Pulse and still hit those opposing ghost types for super effective damage. So that is a very close narrow loss to Trevenant on the lead, but you've got 2 solid answers to Trevenant in the back, so it's not a big deal. You can stay in there and play it out a little bit, or you can just immediately safe swap in the Lickitung. That is the safest play. Just get out of there on those Trevenant leads. You will see Trevenant quite a bit because Trevenant has a very good matchup up against Registeel as well. The safest play is to swap out into Lickitung immediately and look to play it out from there. You will likely draw out a fighter. That is the goal of this back line here, guys. you want to draw out the fighter with Licky Tongue. That way Scrafty doesn't have to see the fighters at all, guys. And that way Cofagrigus can come back in, farm it down, and you'll have a good end game for your Scrafty to clean it up for you. Galarian Stunfisk, again, a narrow loss, but again, I've beaten plenty of G-Fisk with my Cofagrigus. It is a lot closer than you would think. You can stay in there and play that out a bit. They will tank a Shadow Ball, and then you can look to make a play into your Licky Tongue. That's how I would play it. Metacham, you're staying in there all day, guys. Cofagrigus dominates Metacham, as Metacham with that Psychic typing takes super effective damage from your fast move pressure and the charge moves, of course. Cofagrigus has a very narrow victory over Walrein. So if you see those Walrein leads, you can rest assured you've got 2 Pokemon on this team that have very solid matchups up against it, and Cofagrigus and Scrafty. You can stay in on the lead and play that out. Licky Tongue has a decent matchup against it as well, guys. Scrafty is going to be the one Scrafty's going to be the strongest core breaker for this team. Not going to lie, guys, but it's a lot closer than you would think. That is how strong Cofagrigus is, guys. Basically, with Scrafty, you're going to have to stay in there and soft lose that, guys. And if they bait you with a power-up punch, it's even better because you can actually flip that matchup and win it. But you basically just go straight Shadow Ball in that Scrafty matchup, and they will beat you to the... Well, they won't beat you, but they will CMP tie you on the foul play. But you got to soft lose that and then come in with your own Scrafty and take it out. It'll be low enough to where you can just farm all the way down. And then hope like heck that there isn't a Metacham in the back, but that is not likely, guys. If you see a Scrafty on the lead, it is not likely that they will have another fighter in the back. So if you're going to be met with a Scrafty, you definitely want to see it on the lead with this team, guys. Bastiodon, again, a very narrow loss, but you can beat... you can edge out Bastiodon, as most Bastiodons will not shield, and before they know it, they are extremely low from tanking two or three Shadow Balls, and you can win that one as well. You'll want to stay in there till the end. If they take you out, you can come in with Scrafty and farm it all the way down, guys. What else do we have here? Altaria, it's a narrow loss with Cofagrigus, but again, it is very much IV dependent in these narrow losses. A lot of these narrow losses that you're seeing, guys, are for, it's very IV dependent. If you have a good PvP optimized Cofagrigus, if a lot of you caught them out in the wild this past Halloween event, you will do just fine in a lot of these narrow losses that it says that you supposedly lose. As my Cofagrigus is highly ranked, I think I have a rank 3 Cofagrigus, and I'm winning a lot of these matchups that it's saying have narrow losses. So a lot of these are very much IV dependent. Do keep that in mind, guys. All 3 of these Pokemon do beat Swampert, so those Swampert Skarmory teams that everyone loves to run, you can rest assured you're going to be winning lead and doing very well up against that Swampert Skarmory core. Jellicent, again, says you have a narrow loss. I beg to differ, but you've got 2 Pokemon on this team that can more than handle Jellicent on the lead. Just the safest play is to just get out of there immediately into your Licky Tongue and look to go from there. Hopefully draw out a fighter. And Azumarill, again, that's a very narrow loss, but you do just fine up against Azumarill with your Cofagrigus. The safest play is to stay in there and play that out to the end. You can expend a shield, take it to play out the one shield scenario and see where you go from there. But if they do happen to take you out, you can come in with Licky Tongue and clean that up with no problems, guys. Deoxys, this is why this team is designed, guys, is to handle those Deoxys leads. Everybody's running Deoxys in the lead, it seems. And this is why Cofagrigus is so strong as an anti-meta Pokemon, because everybody loves to run Metacham and Deoxys in the lead. Cofagrigus absolutely gobbles those 2 up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you will do just fine with Deoxys on the lead. You'll stay in there until it's gone. Sableye, again, very, very close matchup. I've beaten plenty of Sableyes, guys. You just go straight Dark Pulse up against Sableye and you do just fine. So that is team number 1, guys. This team is amazing. Very strong team, very solid anti-meta team. I recognize not everyone has an XL Lickitung, and if you don't have one, you can consider using Greedent. Greedent is the best replacement for XL Lickitung. So if you don't have one, go with Greedent and you'll do just fine. Not a problem there. So this is team number 1, Coffergregus on the lead, Lickitung, Safe Swap, and Scrafty in the back, guys. Very strong anti-meta team. And with all that said, let's have a look at team number 2. All right, guys, here we go. Team number 2. And if this team looks familiar, it's because I have featured this team in the past. And just a side note, guys, all of the teams on this list that I have featured, I will have links to the videos in the description, just so that you can get a better idea of how to play them, guys. So, this team for team number 2 is one of my absolute favorite anti-meta teams. I designed this team to counter the Swampert Skarmory core, guys, and if you're unfamiliar with the ever so popular Swampert Skarmory core, it runs Swampert on the lead, classically Medicham as the safe swap, although you can see Drapion as a safe swap, and Skarmory in the back. I built this team because I had gotten tired of seeing so many of those teams over and over and over again. So I put this team together, and my goodness, is it wildly effective, particularly up against that team, but it does well across the board against all other teams as well, guys. And it runs Trevenant on the lead. Galarian Stunfisk is your safe swap, and Bastionon in the back to close the game strong, guys. Very strong anti-meta team for the Great League. Let's have a look at this scorecard here. Amazing scorecard. Not bad, guys. You get a solid C for coverage, and that is because this is a classic ABB style team. All ABB style teams will have the scorecard is not going to blow your hair back, but for an ABB team, this scorecard is looking amazing, guys. You get a solid A for bulk. You get a B for safety and a B for consistency. You don't get much better than that, especially for an ABB style team. Let's have a look at these matchups here, guys. Look at this. Trevenant absolutely dominates on the lead, guys. My goodness, is Trevenant overpowered. Again, guys, so many people are going to be running Registeel. Trevenant is licking its chops at those Registeels, guys, especially if you find it on the lead. You stay in there all day on those Registeels. With the new moveset of Zap Cannon and Focus Blast, Trevenant resists all of that, guys, and it resists the fast move pressure of Lock On, because that is a normal type attack, guys, for the fast move. So if you're encountered with a Registeel on the lead, you are staying in there all day, guys, until that large steel trash can is gone. And if things go awry and you somehow don't win that matchup, which is kind of crazy if you don't, because you should, you've got Galarian Stunfisk in the back to handle Registeel as well. So this team is going to do amazing against all of the Registeels that you are going to be seeing, guys. As sure as the sun will rise in the morning, you are going to be running into Registeel all over the place, guys. So keep that in mind. If you're seeing a lot of them, you might want to give this team a try. So the Trevenant Mirror, again, that's a toss-up. And I've gone over this many times in the past, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, as my best way to play out the Trevenant Mirror is I'll give you the brief rundown. So you're going to run into Trevenant leads. You're going to be in that mirror matchup a lot. So the way I like to play it is I will build up to just the Seed Bomb. Just the Seed Bomb. No, don't build up to the Shadow Ball, because you're going to build up to that Seed Bomb and throw it. They're not going to shield that because they know it's going to be a Seed Bomb if they're counting. That way, all you have to do, if you want to win lead hard, and you kind of need to with a team like this, you throw that Seed Bomb, they no shield it, you shield up whatever they throw, and you farm all the way down from then on out. That is my ideal way to play the Trevenant Mirror, and you should do just fine. Medicham, you're staying in all day. You dominate Medicham with Trevenant. Galarian Stunfisk, you're going to do just fine up against. Walrein is going to give you a little bit of trouble if you do find it on the lead, guys. Galarian Stunfisk is the dedicated safe swap on this team. there is no circumstance where you will not safe swap into Galarian Stunfisk. So that is pretty easy to remember with this team. So you're going to safe swap into G-Fisk on those wall rains and play that out from there. You just spam it with Rock Slides if they do decide to stay in on you. Scrafty, just like with Team 1, Scrafty is going to be the biggest core breaker for this team, both Scrafty and Obstagoon. Scrafty is a little bit easier to deal with because it is a very close matchup with Trevenant, despite the type disadvantage, guys. So you can take that to the 2 shield because you need to do everything within your power to take out the Scrafty. I would play that all the way down to the 2 shield scenario. You're just spamming seed bombs just as fast as you can get to them. And if they oblige and go shield for shield with you, that Scrafty will be extremely low. And then you can just come in with Stunfisk and farm it down. Bastion on the lead. I wouldn't stay in there for too long, guys. I would maybe try and get off a Shadow Ball, chip it a little bit, and then make an aggressive play into your own Bastion. Correction, guys. I know I said Stunfisk is going to be the only safe swap you'll ever do, but in the mirror match, so if you're going to safe swap and do something that you already have on your team, you always want to go into the mirror match. So I would mirror with your own Bastion. Although if you're making a team read, you could just go with Stunfisk as well because most Bastions come paired with a Medicham in the back. So Stunfisk has better charge move pressure and better fast move pressure on Medicham. So maybe just go into Stunfisk actually now that I think about it. Yeah, definitely do that. So if you're met with Bastion on the lead, the official way to play that, guys, because 9 out of 10 Bastions, they're going to have a Medicham in the back. You get off a Shadow Ball, safe swap into Stunfisk, and then look to go from there. They're not going to stay in. They're gonna go into their Medicham. You're just going to spam off Earthquakes. I think in the Medicham matchup in a fresh fight, you will get to an Earthquake and a Rock Slide. That will get the Medicham extremely low. And then you can come back in with your Trevenant, farm it down, and go from there. That's how I would play it. Officially, guys. I know it jumped all over the place, but this is live, guys. We gotta flesh these out live and on the fly here. Let's see. Altaria. I wouldn't mess around with Altaria too much. You've got 2 solid answers to it. If it were a different team comp, I would say go for that Shadow Ball and then retreat into your Stunfisk. But whereas you get 2 strong answers to Altaria in the back, I would just get out of there immediately. Go right into Stunfisk and play it out from there. Swampert, of course, you're staying in all day. You dominate Swampert with Trevenant. This is why this team was designed for the Swampert leads with Skarmory in the back, guys. This team dominates it, guys, I'm telling you. If you run into a lot of the Swampert leads, this is the team for you, I'm telling you. And I will have the link to the feature on this team in the description. And in that video, guys, we literally, for the featured set, we face four out of the 5 matchups were with Skarmory and Swampert, which was absolutely insane. Jellicent, you're going to do fine. So Trevenant is an amazing lead, guys, as you all may know. You're going to be winning a lot of leads with Trevenant, and that is because it is so strong and overpowered. So this is team number 2 here, guys. Very strong anti-meta team for the Great League, and that is Trevenant on the lead, Galarian Stunfisk as your safe swap, and Bastion to close out the game. And with all that said, guys, let's have a look at team number 3. All right, guys, here we go. Team number 3. Another familiar team, guys. This is another team that I have featured not too long ago. Actually, just during the last cycle of Great League, I featured this team and ran it with great success, guys. Very strong anti-meta team, and it runs Scrafty on the lead. Cofagrigus is your safe swap, and you've got Jellicent in the back, guys. Very solid anti-meta team. Let's have a look at the scorecard here. Okay, it doesn't blow your hair back, but like I said at the beginning, guys, take these scorecards with a grain of salt. This team is wildly effective in the Great League. We get basically C's across the board, but we do get a solid B for bulk. Not too bad, guys. So here we go. Let's have a look at these matchups here. Very strong team, especially with the re-emergence of Registeel. Guys, this team is going to be even better. Registeel on the lead. You're going to dominate with Scrafty, of course. And you've got Cofagrigus in the back that can handle it as well. Trevenant leads, you're going to do well. You just play that out until the Trevenant is gone, as the 2-back Pokemon don't really want to deal with Trevenant, to be honest, guys. So those Trevenant leads, they'll probably try to stick in there and play it out with you. If they do that, you can be grinning from ear to ear, because you're going to do just fine in that Trevenant lead, of course. Stunfisk, you dominate. It's lights out up against Stunfisk on the lead. Medicham, you're hard swapping out, guys. That's why we got 2 ghost types in the back for those Medichams and Deoxys leads that you may run into. You're going to safe swap into Cofagrigus. They will likely meet you with a Lickitung, as most Medichams are now paired with Lickitung these days, because they make for a very strong core. So you draw out the Lickitung. You may even draw out a Steel type like Bastiodon. Either one of those is fine. Cofagrigus will do fine in that secondary matchup. If you're not able to flip switch, you can easily just come right back in with Scrafty and have a very good game from there on. Walrein, all 3 of these Pokemon dominate Walrein, which is one of the reasons why I built this team during the last cycle of Great League. And a lot of you already know and have used this team with much success, guys. This was supposed to be an anti-Walrein team, but for that video that I did, we didn't run into one single Walrein. But if you do, you can rest assured that all 3 of these Pokemon beat Walrein. So any team with Walrein, you're already going to have an advantage on the Scrafty leads. You got to play that out, guys. Neither Pokemon in the back, particularly Jellicent, really want to have to deal with a Scrafty. So you just play that out. You will both simultaneously KO, and then you can play from there. You'll do just fine. Bastiodon leads, you dominate those Bastiodon Medicham cores, guys. This team is lights out for that overpowered team that everyone loves to run, including myself. I love running that team myself. Diggersby, you're going to do fine. We don't really see Diggersby all that often. Altaria, you're hard swapping out, guys. And try your very best to flip that switch advantage. If you need to take that to the 2 shield, by all means do that, guys, because you can flip switch with Cofagrigus. You really want to have that Altaria out of the way, because it is very problematic for Scrafty, of course. Swampert, all 3 of these Pokemon beat the Swampert Skarmory core as well. You're going to do just fine with those Swampert leads. You just play that out. You can easily tank a Hydro Cannon. So you tank the first Hydro Cannon. Go for the foul play first, because they may think that you're baiting. And then you can just go straight power up punch from then on out, whether they shield or not, because by then the counter damage will get them within a range where you can just power up punch and counter down. That's how I play Swampert leads. So yeah, solid team. Azumarill, you're getting out of there into your Cofagrigus. Deoxys, you can try and chip it with a foul play before retreating into your Cofagrigus and play from there. Sableye, you're going to do fine up against. It does say that you have a narrow loss, but I beg to differ. Every Sableye that I've gone against, outside of lag or lack of focus, I have dominated. They will likely go straight for, if they stay in, it's a different story. They might try and catch you off guard with by full sending a return. But I always shield the first move no matter what, and I go foul play and then power up punch it down. That's how I play Sableye. But that's about it for this team as well, guys. This is a strong team. Very strong team for team number 3. This is a team that I have featured in the past as well. And again, I will have a link to in the description to the video featuring this team. So that is team number 3, guys. Scrafty on the lead, Cofagrigus safe swap, and Jellicent in the back. Very strong anti-meta team for the Great League. And with all that said, guys, let's have a look at team number 4. All right, guys, here we go. Team number 4. I bet this team looks awfully familiar to many of you watching this right now. It is one of my favorite teams, and it is probably the original anti-meta team on this channel, guys. This is a team that is very near and dear to my heart, and I know it is to a lot of you as well, as it has helped many of you hit legend. And it is the legendary Skarmory. lead, Vigoroth, Safe Swap, and Scrafty in the back. Guys, this team is a very strong anti-meta team, and it was implemented to counter the ever-so-popular Bastiodon Sableye Medicham team. This team is the ultimate answer to that team. It also does extremely well to the Nidoqueen Double Dark team as well, guys. So, very solid anti-meta team. One of my all-time favorite teams to run in the Great League, of course, guys. Scorecard, not too bad, guys. Like I said, we're taking these scorecards with a grain of salt because these are anti-meta teams. A lot of them are ABB teams as well, which historically don't do very well on PvPoke, as PvPoke does tend to favor balanced teams. Yeah, a lot of you know this team extremely well. And on the lead, you're not going to do well up against those steel-type leads. The biggest problem, I will say, for this team, and a lot of you already know, is the Deoxys lead. That is the most difficult obstacle to overcome, is Deoxys on the lead. Right here on the first matchup with Registeel, of course you're losing that, guys. I would treat that as with any steel lead, as you're swapping immediately into your Vigoroth and playing from there. Trevenant, you can stay in there and take out the Trevenant. Maybe try and get off a Sky Attack and then make a play into Vigoroth, because by then that Trevenant will be extremely low from your air/fast move pressure. That's how I would play it. Medicham, you're staying in there. Medicham is difficult on the lead to deal with, as the same goes for Deoxys. You just got to play that out. Particularly with Medicham, it's best if they're not running Power Up Punch. Most Medichams in the Open Great League are running Ice Punch, but Medicham is just such a beast, guys. It wins matchups it really has no business winning. But you do have to play that out and try and either take out the Medicham or get it extremely low, guys. Then you can come in with your Vigoroth and go from there. Stunfisk, any steel lead, you're swapping immediately into Vigoroth. Walrein, you're going to do okay. I really wouldn't stay in there on those Walrein leads, guys, even though you do have a narrow victory over Walrein. It's not worth it. You want to safe swap immediately into your Vigoroth and play from there, as you do have two amazing answers to Walrein in the back on this team. There's no need to stay in there with Skarmory. So swapping immediately on Walrein leads. Scrafty, again, like Medicham, you got to play that out, guys. You got to play that out a little bit. I will say, though, if they tank a Sky Attack, because they can tank one, if they do, I would swap immediately into Vigoroth and go from there, because that will get the Scrafty within a manageable range. But if they're staying in there and shielding and trying to play it out with you, I would try and get it to about 50% health and then maybe go into Vigoroth. That's how I would play it. Let's see here. Altaria, you gotta play that like I would play Azumarill, guys. The way I like to play Altaria and Azumarill is I will Brave Bird and retreat, because this is a classic ABB style team. As with any ABB team, you're going to have to swap out at some point, so you might as well maximize your efforts, build up to the Brave Bird, go for it. A lot of times they won't shield it because they know that they can tank it, and then they have fallen into your trap, guys. Once you get that Brave Bird off, you go right into Vigoroth and go to work with that Body Slam spam. Swampert, try and get off a Sky Attack. They will most likely shield that and then look to make a play into Vigoroth. That way you come into that matchup with a shield advantage. You'll have to tank a Hydro Cannon, but you'll want to have that shield advantage going into a Swampert match. Azumarill, play that the same way as Altaria. You Brave Bird and retreat into Vigoroth. Let's see, Sableye. Play that the same way you would play a Swampert. Try and get off a Sky Attack. They will likely shield. And then look to make a play into Vigoroth. And so yeah, that is this Skarmory Vigoroth Scrafty team. A lot of you already know this team very well. It is a very solid and strong, overpowered anti-meta team for the Great League. And again, that is Skarmory on the lead, Vigoroth safe swap, and Scrafty in the back. You don't get much better. One of my all-time favorites. And with that said, let's have a look at team number 5. All right, guys, last but certainly not least, this is a team that is slowly becoming one of my absolute favorite teams to run, guys. And it is Ariados on the lead, Sableye Safe Swap, and Coffergrigus in the back, guys. This is a team that I have not featured officially on this channel, guys, but I used it quite a bit toward the end of the last Great League cycle, and oh my goodness, guys, was I racking up the wins. Ariados is a very underrated pick for the Open Great League. It does extremely well on the lead, especially given the current meta, guys, where everybody's running Deoxys leads. Everybody's running Medicham leads. You're going to do amazing. You do see those Sableye leads as well. Ariados does extremely well against a lot of the most common leads that you're going to be running into in the Open Great League. You also dominate Azumarill as well with Ariados on the lead. Let's have a look at the scorecard here. Not the best scorecard, but hey, guys, it's all about functionality, guys. I'm telling you, this team does extremely well. I used it. I'm speaking from experience. This team is amazing, guys. So we do get a D for coverage because we got 2 ghost types in the back. We get a C for bulk. That's just because Sableye and Ariados aren't the bulkiest around. We get a solid B for safety and a B for consistency. Not bad at all, guys. So let's have a look at these matchups here. Ariados on the lead is meant to counter the most common leads that you're going to see in the Great League. That being Trevenant, Azumarill, Sableye, Medicham, and Deoxys. That is the main goal of this team. Of course, the Steel type leads, you are getting the heck out of there into your Sableye and looking to play it out from there. So Registeel, it is very close up with Sableye, but that Zap Cannon is just too oppressive, guys. It hits so hard and it lowers your attack. But you want to get that Registeel extremely low. You can go to the 2 shield scenario if you need to. Maybe go shield for shield. If they shield once, you can match that shield in kind. If they take you out, you can come in with Coffergrigus and beat it. Trevenant leads, you're going to be winning those leads pretty hard. Not hard, but solidly, I will say, up against Trevenant on the lead. Stunfisk, as with any steel lead, you are getting the heck out of there into your Sableye. Medicham, guys, we all know by now, Ariados dominates Medicham. Especially if you guys are like me, have been running Ariados in the Love Cup. Toward the end of the last cycle of Great League, I was dominating Medichams, guys. You all know, you just have to really look out for that Psychic, of course. But outside of that, you're going to do just fine on those Medicham leads. Walrein, you're going to do fine as well on the lead. You do have a narrow loss. It does get to those Icicle Spears pretty fast, but you will win CMP tie on the first Icicle Spear. I would shield up that one and then try and get off another lunge to really debuff that attack on the Walrein. Scrafty, you're going to dominate, of course. Altaria, any type of flyer, you're getting out of there into your Sableye. The Swampert matchup is very close. It's not fun. I would maybe try and get off a lunge and then go into your Sableye because you'll want to preserve it because they will likely have either a Drapion or a Sableye in the back on their team if they're running Swampert. So that's how I would play the Swampert lead. Azumarill, you're going to be dominating. Defense Deoxys, you're going to do fine against as well. Very strong team for team number 5. One of my favorite teams to run in the Open Great League, and that is Ariados, Sableye on the safe swap, and Coffergrigus in the back. Very strong anti-meta team for the Open Great League. And that about wraps it up, guys. That is my top 5 best anti-meta teams for the Great League. Like I said at the beginning, Great League is dropping this afternoon. Everybody's going to be running the meta. The same meta lines. You're going to be seeing the same teams over and over. So I wanted to give you guys some strong anti-meta teams to really counter all of those meta teams that you're going to be seeing quite a bit of in this go-around of the Great League. It's going to be fun. I always enjoy when the Great League returns. Hopefully you give some of these teams a try. And like I said, guys, I'm going to put links to all of the videos of the teams that I have featured on this list, just so that you can get a better idea of how to play them. and see them in action, guys. But I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.